Hello and welcome everyone to our VBOUT monthly meetup where we discuss the latest topics in marketing and anything you need to know to optimize your marketing strategies and marketing processes. Today I have an awesome topic that I'm excited about, a topic probably that a lot of people don't even know how to put together. But by the end of this, you're gonna literally take the best of both worlds and mesh them together into a killer social media funnel. As you can see, the topic is how to turn social media engagement into smart automation, and that's exactly what I'll be covering. The usual housekeeping items, any questions you have, we will attend to, promise. If you have any particular support around VBOUT, that's probably not the best place to do it, but I will try to stay at the end if needed so I can answer those questions. George will be sharing the presentation, the video, and everything after in a summary, so you won't miss if for some reason you fell asleep on your popcorn bowl and you woke up a couple hours later with this has finished. So don't worry, we'll get you all the presentations and all the content as usual. If it's your first time joining us, welcome. This community is 10 years in the making. We have over 20,000 members in the community, but we have over 150,000 distribution. So our community has grown significantly over the past few years and very excited to keep it going. And thank you for your participation. We're able to do that. George is dropping the Facebook group, which is an active place. You can share your feedback. You can get first notices on releases. You can also get reminders on events just like this. Awesome. That's true, John. Nobody falls asleep on a VBOUT presentation. We keep it exciting. We keep it fresh. But for some, it's probably 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. in the morning, so I don't blame you if that's the case. Now, before I start, I just want to give a quick shout out to those making this presentation possible. We have VBOUT is our sponsor, it's our company, and the VBOUT stack consists of 14 products meshed into one. And to summarize those products, I would say we have predictive email marketing. We have one of the top marketing automation on the market, so you can create your visual builders, and that's actually today's core part of building this social media funnel. Last but not least, our multi-channel AI chatbot, which is killing it right now, as a lot of people are ditching the old-fashioned, logic bots into fully powered AI chatbots. What differentiates VBOUT is we have a simple interface that comes at a great pricing and some of the best on the market support that you can get from actual humans who care about you and your company. And that's our culture. That's where we are. If you need, pardon me here, an overview of the product, George will leave a link to our demo link where you can set up a call with one of our specialists who will guide you to see if we're a good fit. All right. A lot of talking today, so excuse my voice, but let's get started. I know everybody's here to know how to build this awesome social media engagement funnel. I want to start by talking about data enrichment a little bit, though, because a big part of this is going to be data enrichment. It's one of the sequences in our automations and the social media funnel, because as you know, on social media, you're very limited in terms of how much data you can access. But with VBOUT, that's no more. And I'm going to show you exactly how. But to give those of you who do not know what data enrichment is quick overview, I have a quick question. What is more expensive than good quality data? The answer is bad quality data. Because the statistics have shown, exactly, Scott, you actually nailed it. Because the statistics have shown that inaccurate data costs companies around $3.1 trillion annually. That's combining bad targeting on ads, emails hitting inboxes that's consuming email credits, humans doing outbound calling. The quality of bad data do cost money. And by you spending time and resources on bad data, you're missing out on actually hitting the right targets. Now, how do you solve this? Data enrichment is the path because it allows you to take very limited amount of information, such as email, and then enrich that data with deeper insights, more information about the person or the company, allowing you to branch from just having an email or just having a phone to have an extensive data set on that person that you can build profiles around. Now, this makes the data, of course, more valuable. It allows you to make decisions better. It optimizes your team and your sales process efficiencies. So your team is not wasting time on an email who was there because they thought you do X when you don't even do that at all. And we actually, at some point, when we were running Facebook ads, we literally made some of the best video explainers on marketing automation, and we still have people who would cost us around $800 for a demo request will end up asking us to build the website. I mean, this is how silly it is, right? I know that's a multifaceted problem there, but if my sales team at the time knew a little bit deeper about that contact person, the budget and everything else, without asking too many questions up front, it would have been an easier uphill battle. All right. Now, how data enrichment can benefit marketers, and I already touched about this, but from a practical perspective, you can segment your lists better and you can personalize much deeper as well. Maybe you want to create a segment of those who work for companies that are 1 to 10 employees, small businesses, boutique agencies, etc. If you only have an email, there's no way for you to create that segment with highly personalized messaging. Okay. If you want to target those who make more than $1 million in revenue a year, because these people have more resources, that probably have dedicated practitioners for specific departments, like they could have their own marketing person, their own dedicated sales. So knowing that these departments exist or these people exist, obviously will allow you to target them without wasting time. So data enhancing segmentation and personalization is the first reason, practical reason. Improve the efficiency of your marketing. We literally weed out a lot of bad data right now before we send them an email. And we also deliver better quality leads across the board. And not to mention, customer support can be a lot better if you are offering highly personalized customer support. And we did one of these awesome presentations before talking about how your customer support is actually an extension of your marketing. And you should never underestimate when you treat a customer nicely and you make them feel important and you get the job done, they will go and they will tell others. And that is the most beautiful form of marketing and the best form of marketing. Okay. Now, what are the industries that are using data enrichment? And this is just for general knowledge. You might probably see retail overall. They use it because they want to enrich people profiles with information about their credit, about their interests, about their uh, psychographic information, hobbies, and stuff like that. Financial services, credit scores, definitely. Revenue, how much the income of the household and where do they live, stuff like that. Insurance companies, it follows definitely the financial services. You have the healthcare, when you're selling products or pharmaceuticals, you know who to target better if you have that information in front of you. E-commerce companies are starting to use this more, particularly high-end e-com, now low-touch, low-priced e-com, because if you're selling a $5,000 product, you can afford to enrich and you can afford to do follow-ups on that person. Logistics and supply chain, and you have also real estate. Education is starting to break into this because people are lazy. Students don't want to give too much of their details up front. Yet on the back end, administration needs that additional details to help with the follow-ups. Finally, you have travel and hospitality and telecommunications. So these are probably, I would say, in the order of how things are being measured. And of course, there are B2B applications and B2C applications. All right, this is very, very high level. Now, what kind of data you can get from enrichment? I know there are so many different kinds of data, and actually there are services that only provide enrichment for employment history, for example, that suits recruiters. There are some that are better in B2B, and there are some that are better in B2C. But overall, I just want to focus on two types of data. It's going to be the person's data, the human, including their email, their location, their job, their industry, job title, personal interest, and maybe some historical data about their education. You can dive deeper there to analyze their household income, but that's, usually it's not always as up to date and accurate because it relies on financial institutions who sometimes pulled your credit 4 years ago. And company data, which is a lot more relevant for those who are doing B2B, and there you can get a lot more because company information are a little bit more public, front facing, such as location, size, headquarters, industry types, revenue, and the one I like also, if you are selling software or services towards software, is the technographic layer of those companies. Technographics mean things like, are they using a WordPress, or do they have an Amazon AWS infrastructure because you're selling cost optimization? Or perhaps is they are behind Cloudflare and you are a security consultant and those who are using Cloudflare care about their security. These are very basic examples. So this is a very kind of high level overview of what data enrichment is. We're taking a very small piece of information, usually an email, and I'm going to show you a demo, and I'm going to end up with a lot more information about that person from their person's data and their company data. All right, I'll pause here real quick before I move to the second part of this. Any questions so far on enrichment? Or does anyone not know what enrichment is? All
Feel
right.
free, guys, to drop your comments in case any.
I think everybody got it.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about funnels, social media funnels to be specific. Okay. And this comes in the form of, how do you transform those posts and reels, 1 minute videos, that really good content you're pushing out into lead magnets? We talked about this a lot in previous session. We call this the comment to DM automation. It's a very simple process of letting people comment on your videos, and from there, you pull them into a funnel that's operating in the background within the social media ecosystem, within the DM directly, within Instagram or Facebook directly. And from there, you are trying to grab that information so you can do a whole series of data enrichment in the background and targeting as well. So it's very simple. It works on Instagram, it works on Facebook, and that's how it is in VBOUT right now, is you can deploy it on these two channels, whether both simultaneously or individually. And in this example, you see this gentleman is talking about a fitness advice, and he's telling people to leave the keyword blueprint on the video so they can get his blueprint PDF or ebook or whatever, how the format was. It can be anything. That keyword is controlled by you. The offer is controlled by you, and you always need to have an offer because nobody will leave a comment to get an offer unless it's good enough, right? And once that comment happens, we're gonna fire a series of messages. I'm gonna leave this part to the demo, but why is it rising? Why is this technology catching up? Because 75% of customers prefer to engage with brands directly from their social media channels. It's more accessible, easier, it's safer, it's there, it notifies them, it's in their phone, it's on their laptop. So it makes a lot more sense for them to do it. It's just a lot easier than going to the vendor's website, trying to find the support place and chat and all of that. Okay. Also, the process of prompting people for those comments, and the more comments you accumulate, the more engagement and visibility and let's call it clout your post is going to get. And that will eventually give your post a little bit of a um, viral effect where more people will start seeing it and eventually, hopefully, more people commenting. Now, this is not always the case. It's not going to always happen where you launch one video and all of a sudden it's going to get hundreds of thousands of views. But if you do proper testing and you keep at it, you will find one day a formula that's going to probably flip and is going to drive thousands and thousands of views and potentially thousands and thousands of leads. Okay. So again, the benefits is boosting the engagement when the user, asking people to interact with your post creates that intimate interaction. There's an exchange of a comment. Somebody's investing, few letters on their keyboard. And honestly, as silly as it sounds, right now we look at the internet and engagement as a transaction. And it drives lead generation because you can literally turn that simple comment into a conversation. The industry is using comment to DM at the top right now because a lot of industries don't even know how to deploy this. They think it's rocket science, it's APIs. If you have to build your own thing in the back end, you need to hire expensive developers. None of that. E-commerce have caught up. They use it a lot to send free gifts, free coupons, downloadables, and so on. Beauty and fashion, similarly, like I showed you in the health and fitness. The gentleman was talking about fitness advice. They use it a lot, a lot. Digital marketing agencies are starting to deploy it because they know how it works. So you can download the blueprint for email marketing guide. You can download access to a funnel, a course, whatever it may be. Education and online courses, definitely a good place. You can get a free course access if you comment the word course on this video. And event management, giving away tickets or a certain amount of tickets or maybe discounted access is catching up as well. All right. So before I dive into the specifics of how you can build them on VBOUT or any product of your choice, does anyone have any questions so far? Everybody's good?
Yeah, seems to be. John, can you list the social you can support?
The social media we can support, the channels we can deploy on are primarily Instagram and Facebook. All right, so let me move in my screen right now to pull the actual building of this cool process. All right. Please let me know if you see the dashboard, George.
Yes, I do. I can see it.
Perfect. All right. Now, if you are on VBOUT, there's a primary step that you need to take is you need to go to your integrations tab under, actually, you got to go to add-ons. On the add-ons, you're going to find a new data enrichment add-on. It's going to give you 50 free credits. You're going to install that. This is in partnership with Murayana. You can go and buy your own $20 a month membership and get 1,000 credit, or even, I don't know if it's 80, you get a 10,000 credits, but it's totally worth it. We give you 50 free, and from there on, you can add more. So if you want to just use 50 for the 50 leads that you're collecting, or you want to increase that, that's up to you. So that's the first step. The second step is we created an optional mapping. Now, I don't want to confuse things a lot, but under settings, there's a data enrichment mapping. This allows you to map the information you're going to get from the enrichment side. You can see the person data, like name, industry, languages, etc., and the company data. So that's what's coming in to us from the enrichment side of things. But because you have your own custom fields within your VBOUT, within your CRM, you want to map that information from the enrichment source to your VBOUT data source or data destination, sorry. Okay. It's a very simple mapping between the first name there and the first name on the right side. And the reason we did this, we want to give you flexibility to do different mapping for custom fields if that matches your CRM requirements. All right. Now, you don't have to do this, But if you do, the data will populate immediately into the profile, allowing you to do deeper segmentation eventually. All right? Totally optional. It's under the setting. Now that I've done that, I'm going to go to automations. I'm going to access my social media bot. And let's see how we build this on our side. So this is an Instagram funnel that's currently running. And you will notice here, I have this very basic sequence. Somebody left a keyword. I send them 3 DMs in this order. And by the way, everything here is available on the left. So if you scroll down to the trigger section, you're going to notice the keyword bot. Okay. Drag it and drop it to the screen. Then you switch to actions and you're going to drag and drop the send DM for as many times you want to send a DM to the person. All right. Very simple. Map them out like you do with automations, and that will dictate the order of how the messages are delivered. Usually this one gets there first, then this one, and then the third. It suffices to just send one if you want. It's totally up to you. But the way that the APIs work, the way that Instagram functions is you can send a DM request to somebody, which means this first step is a request. And you cannot send them anything additional to that unless they accept that message request. So it's an initial step there, okay? Now let me see the configuration. First, you will notice the labels. You're gonna choose your profile that you connected, and we can connect Facebook and Instagram. You're gonna choose if you want to deploy this funnel on every single piece of content you have. For example, all this content can become a funnel in one click. Or if you want it to be on one specific type of post from your existing live content. Okay, so this is what I have live right now, and I can load more. It's a very simple choice selection. Or you can do it on the next one. So if you're about to post something, you choose that. The second step is to define the keyword you want people to leave as a comment to your video. Okay, I chose workshop, but it can literally be anything or it could be multiple. And then there's an option to do auto replies to the comment. So when people leave that word workshop, we automatically reply back to the comment, registering a ding on their phone that somebody replied to the comment. That red notification is actually also currency. So by doing that, we let you get the attention by saying, thank you, please check your DM. And the reason we have 3 options is because if it's the same every single time, Instagram might look at it as a bot and they might just block the integration. So with that being said, allow at least 3 variations for this to work perfectly, okay? So far, so good. Very easy setup here. Now I
Yes.
reprogrammed the message. The first message I already have, and we have different types of messages that this supports. You can have simple text. You can have a welcome video. I chose to send the video first. Now the second video, and George, did I lose the connection real quick?
Yes, it was a little bit, but it's now fine.
All right, great. The second piece here, and that's totally my choice, I chose the form to become second. So the moment they reply to my video request, because I'm going to send them a video asking them to comment or to say yes, then what I did is I chose that I want a form as the second type of message. I created a form on VBOUT, and everybody here probably knows it's simple first name and last name. And I programmed the prompt, the confirmation message, simple housekeeping items here. Okay. That's literally how a form can request the email from a person. And last but not least, again, optional, I chose to send them a link to the resource that they're downloading their stuff from. That's it. It took me probably about 5 minutes to put this whole thing together, including recording the video and creating the form, linking it, and I was pretty much good to go. So it's so easy, and people don't know how easy it is. It's literally a little hidden secret here. So that's the first automation. I'm going to share with you a second automation that's going to be important for the process. And that's going to be this one. Okay, so one automation just for the comment to DM. The second one, I chose a form fill. So when somebody fills out a form, and we have it on VBOUT on the left, there's a trigger called joined. So when I do joined, I can choose the form, which is the one I showed you before. And immediately what I'm doing is I'm enriching that information and I'm sending them a welcome email. Okay. So it's nothing too sophisticated. The data enrichment is on the left under actions. You will notice there's a new one here called data enrichment. And I connected it in the sequence. It's going to let you choose your provider. It's going to let you choose what you want to enrich because company and person count as 2 credits. And last but not least, I chose the mapping that allows me to map the data together, and that was also optional. These are the two essential automations. So let me take a step back and explain what I did. I created one that handles the commenting side of things on Instagram. The moment people leave a comment, I configure what keyword it is, which post, and the sequence of messages that go out. And then I created a completely separate automation to simply enrich and send out an email. Okay? We'll keep them clean, they're separated, and they're super easy to get going. And the email looks like this, by the way. There's nothing too fancy. It's a simple thank you for your interest in my mini workshop. Here's a link to the workshop. All right. So let's try to test it out. Fingers crossed it's gonna work because always when you do that, when you do a demo, things start to break. But I preloaded the VBOUT account. I'm going to go ahead and try to send a message now. Let's see if I can do it. Actually, I'm not sending a message. I just need to comment. So I'm gonna comment on this and say workshop. And you're always gonna give them a second. Things take a little bit of processing, nothing too crazy. But you can see here in terms of the DNA of the video, I'm leaving a little hint at the top that says comment to workshop. You also have to say it verbally during the video if you have that verbal communication. If it's a silent video, there's no need, but just make sure you're telling people to comment and not leaving it to chance, right? Awesome. Um, so now that I did this, let me go back to the automation real quick to see if it's pending. Okay, so I can see here I have things are pending, so there's something happening in the background. Um, I'm gonna probably get a little notification about the comment soon. All right. And I'm gonna also get a request. And like I said, this is not only on this video, I made it so it's on every single post in the background. Okay. So it doesn't matter which one you program, but if you want it on one specifically, obviously that's also doable. All right. There you go, you guys. So let's see what happened here. Okay, here we go. We have a reply, auto reply. It says, kindly check your DM. I literally just got a little ding on my phone telling me that I have, this is so cool. I can't show it to you here, but let me see my notifications. Okay, it's a message request. You can see it. Okay, So if I click on it, click here to see blurred video. Interesting. Okay, so that's me. And now I'm just communicating. Thank you so much for your interest in accessing my mini workshop. Okay, so I'm just saying click yes to confirm. It's almost like a double opt-in. All right. And I know some of you are asking, I'm gonna explain. DM is a messaging part of Instagram or of Facebook. Okay. So that's the first DM gets executed directly. Now it's pending the second message because I just replied. You gotta give it a second. Now the form is going to kick in. So basically, let me see here. So I got 5 pending. That's great. All right. So while this is executing, I have a couple of questions. Connecting to Instagram Dory can be done on VBOUT directly. We have a section at the top right where you can go to Connection Center. Under the Connection Center, you have all your Facebook and all your Instagram connections. So just make sure you got the proper setup. It's not going to work on your personal. It needs to be a business account, of course. But once you do that, the account will be connected via the API. Okay. All right. So this is should be coming in any second. So Lisa, it's slow because it goes through a queue and it needs to execute the API. There's some background validation basically. And I know that sometimes it's a little bit faster than other, but it's just the way that it is. I'm pretty sure I can bring it up to the team to see if things can be sped a little bit, but that's what it is now. Here we go. Sometimes you might need to refresh. So now it's asking me for my email. So I'm going to provide a simple email. Gmail.com. Hopefully it gets found in the enrichment process. So that's all it takes. That's the lead capture. That's how the form behaves. It basically it doesn't really display an old-fashioned form. It's communicating back and forth, but in the background is the behavior of the form. All right. There you go. That's the communication, you guys. This is very seamless. Pretty awesome. So that's the first automation. Executed flawlessly. It happened. I collected the lead's information. Now it passes it along to the second part of the automation, okay? Which is this one you see right here. So let me see real quick if it, okay. Immediately I have 4 pending automations in this one. They're executing. That's where you see things are pending. And just as a quick refresher, because somebody just messaged me that they don't know what this one does. Basically, it's taking the person that opted in from Instagram, enriching the data, and then sending them an email follow-up. That's all that is doing. Okay?
Okay, great.
Perfect.
We have a couple of questions, Richard. Let me know when we can take them.
Well, once you capture the data, Scott, inside the system, first you have to do enrichment because inside this process on the DM side, I'm only capturing minimal amount of information. I didn't even need to capture the name, quite frankly, but I did. But here, let's say you capture the email, that will be the first step. And once you get that email in the system, you can enrich the data. And then on the follow-on, before you send the email, if only certain, I think we have an enrichment section here. Let me just double check. Okay, so data enrichment is going to tell you, okay, so what do you want to filter based on? So if that company is greater than 10 employees, then send them that email. I think that's maybe what you were alluding to, right? So you can create that filter process, but I do recommend having a delay. So don't build it that way. In fact, you probably need to add a little delay right here. Just give it a minute for the data to sink in properly, and then add the filter on this arrow right here. Okay, this array. All right, forget about the bottom one. How cool is that, you guys? This is really powerful stuff. I mean, so let's look at what happened to the profile. This is actually the lead right now before it got enriched. You can see there's nothing going on here. Let's see if the enrichment worked properly. Fingers crossed. Awesome. Look, it says data enrichment mapping. It worked. Perfect. Let's see what kind of data I found based on the email. Okay, based on the email. Oh, wow. So I'm gonna open it in a pop-up. So look, we got my email associated with that main one. So it was, even though it was a site for biz or whatever, it's also associated with this one. This is my experience. This is my education. And company data for that email is not available because it's a Gmail. But if it was something a little bit better, it probably would have found that details. But it did enrich it to some extent, making the data very meaningful for those who want to expand beyond just email. And I know a lot of products that might offer comment to DM automation, but the issue is they're just going to collect an email delivered to you as a lead. Now you're taking this 10 step above and you're delivering a lead with proper data set, enriched and ready for sales, ready for marketing. It's probably, I don't want to say that you can resell it, but if you're working on as a lead generation agency or as a marketer, producing a data set beyond just an email can justify the cost of doing what you do. Okay. So that's it. Simple. How many of you think can deploy this or be interested in trialing it and letting us know?
Yeah, sounds great. Richard, I know you mentioned once about LinkedIn.
Okay.
Is there any, not to say deadline because I know it's not soon, but do you have any idea about the possibility of having the comment to DM automation on LinkedIn?
If they do open up their APIs for messaging, it's definitely something we will implement fairly quickly. But their API for messaging is closed right now, and as far as I know, as far as I know.
Okay, great. Mark is asking, do you work with event ticketing merchants? Let's say an orchestra wants to do a VIP pre-sale for their Instagram followers. Can that be supported?
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is actually a great use case for it. You just have to create the video on the channel that gets people to leave a comment. And when they do leave a comment, you can actually send them a link to the pre-registration or the whatever tier one ticket unlocked, the coupon code that allows them to register the first batch of tickets, however you program that. Absolutely. This is a great use case, actually.
Thank you. Dory is saying, I have an Instagram business account. It connects my Instagram but doesn't connect to my business account. Maybe it's
Usually it needs
support.
to be connected to a Facebook business. There's a way on Facebook where you can link the Facebook business to an Instagram business. That's how they do it on Facebook. Don't ask me why. But once you do connect those two, you should be able to see it. But beyond that, there's some troubleshooting that you can consult with support. But I know 99% of the time, the issue you're mentioning is a Facebook and business and Instagram business need to be tied in together. Okay.
Mhm. Thank you. Umaru, can we send cold emails in bulk with VBOUT?
You gotta do it smart. You cannot do bulk with to a bad list and it's gonna get blacklisted. If you do it low volume, high quality cold list that you've curated carefully, sure, you need to be a proper sender because we nobody can bypass filters anymore, right? Unless you're doing it properly, low volume, you know. Um, so with that being said, cold emails is high, I would say is one of those areas where it's on you to reap the benefit of your work. If you're just buying lists and you're sending bulk and you're expecting gold, that's never going to happen. But if you're spending a little bit of time curating the right quality lists. And by the way, I have dozens of sessions talking about how to find proper prospects and enrich them and do what you need to do. But if you spend some time on that and you start to curate instead of 10,000 a day, highly targeted 800, very good quality, scrubbed, you're sure of the validity of the emails, then yes, that's my short answer. You can do cold email and VBOUT.
Thank you, Richard. Richard, John asked a few moments ago if I wanted to support another channel, because you were showing the Instagram coming to game automation, maybe YouTube chat or Zoom chat. How would you be able to connect? Is there an API to work with?
For the comment to DM automation, no, unfortunately, because doesn't have an API endpoint yet. It doesn't have an API endpoint yet. So you're thinking about putting in like the chat as we speaking right now, like put the word trial and send it. Yeah, I'll have to check, but as far as I know, no out of the box third-party integrations with the comment to DM. Was fully programmed from the ground up based on their APIs and based on our own AI as well.
Okay, thank you, Richard. Lisa, yes, this is an easy button way. One step I would add is the validation and verification of the email before going straight to data enrichment, as this may eat up the credits assumption between brackets. If the email is incorrect and or no data is returned from Marina, will the credits still be deducted? Does VBOUT have a native email verification tool?
Yeah, so that's a good question. I think they said if the record was not found, there's no credit to be used. And it's an early integration. So if you end up using it and you find a glitch, just report it to the team, right? Integrations can be, have to go through beta phase first, which is what it is now. But yes, we do have enrichment and we also do have validation. So it's both. Now, is the validation on, I don't think I have validation uh, in automation though. I do have validation, for instance, if I go to my contacts and I go here, I can click email validation and treat it before I send it. That's what you're talking about. It is credit based as well. You might get some free credits initially, and then you can just purchase more because we partnered up with a company for this. But other than that, it's not on automation yet. That could be a good idea, though. Could be a good idea.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, guys, let's. Any more questions? Yeah,
Seems like
great.
they all got it. Perfect.
Yeah, I'm really happy for this topic.
I mean, honestly, it's a hidden gem. And I work with thousands of marketers. We see thousands of campaigns every month go out. Trust me, if you want to stand out, if you want a niche service, this could be like literally a niche service. All I do is build social media funnels and produce the best and quality data for you. That's it. How you frame it and how you price it is on you, but this is top tier service that's niched. And at the end of the day, I can tell you one thing in common between every single marketer from day one till the end of time is they want high quality leads. They want to produce high quality leads and stay on top of branding, communication with customers and leads. And that's in the midst of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Well, if no questions, we can probably resume this call, but just a quick reminder, this recording will be shared along with the presentation. If you're not on VBOUT, leave us or follow the link. George will drop it in the chat. We can give you a deep walkthrough analysis to see if we're a good fit for your company, which I'm pretty sure we can be. Um, and other than that, I want to thank everybody who joined us today. This means a lot to us. You invest your time, the energy, and also you comment, and we don't forget that. So thank you so much, everybody. Really appreciate this, and we'll see you on the upcoming session. George, thanks again.
You're welcome, Richard. Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.